Welcome to Roguecast, the official podcast of Rogues Gallery. We'll talk comics for the week, as well as whatever news is on our pop cultural radar. I'm Randy.
I'm Nick.
This is Dave.
And now, on with the show.
All right, welcome to the end of summer. It's August. I mean, it's in Texas, so the end of summer will actually be 4 months from now.
Right. I was like, what are you talking about? What alternate world did you come from?
If you're a child right now, Dave, your summer is ending in like 2 weeks.
That's true. You will be forced into your regimented school where you will observe and commit to the 10 Commandments,
right.
Probably posted somewhere.
Yeah.
And obviously that's going to reignite civilization.
Yes, and learn the totally unbiased history taught by Texas textbooks.
You know what? The first question a kid should raise his hand and is like, "What's the deal with Epstein?" But yeah, we're getting into the thick of summer.
It's not that hot.
It's not. It's weather patterns are crazy right now. It's in the low and mid 90s, I think, and not like in the triple digits.
Delightful.
But we probably are going to get into it. I don't know that I would say delightful.
I was say the real feel right now with everything is 107.
It's
outside.
delightful.
Yeah,
It's 93.
Okay, weirdo. All right, lizard man. If you were a supervillain, Randy, you would be the lizard.
Our reading challenge continues a couple more weeks out.
Yes.
It ends right before school does.
Yep.
So you still have time for kids to get in that. I believe we're close to 30 kids this year participating.
Yeah, that's really cool. If you are... we don't have any more copies of the pamphlet, but it's on the website, right?
Yep,
you can get
correct.
the PDF. You get they'll show you the reading list for the different age groups. We still have the goodie bags and stuff for kids. So they read 3 graphic novels, 5 graphic novels. They write a little 1-sentence thing about their favorite part in it, nice and simple. And they bring it back to get their name on the board, to get some goodies, and to get praise from us.
Right.
It's a good way to get them really excited about reading.
Yep.
You should do it.
This weekend is T-Fest, the board game role-playing game. We will be out there Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
And there'll be a lot of role-playing games and board games going on.
Yep, but we'll basically have like a vendor booth, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
All right, games this week.
Oh, real quick, where is that happening?
I don't know, Dave. Why would you ask me questions I don't know the answer to?
I don't know. We're announcing it. We'll look it up and we'll get back to you on this.
I can.
Yes. It was a lot of games this week. Starfinder 2nd Edition Player Core came out.
That's big.
Along with the Starfinder Murder in Metal City Boxed Adventure.
Yep.
Which is an intro adventure kind of thing.
Yep.
Has a lot of cool stuff in it. It's got pre-gen character sheets. It's got little tokens. It's got maps.
I find, I don't know a lot about where the system is right now, other than when people have told me about it, I'm like, that sounds cool. But, the lore and all that of Starfinder and the cosmology and the different alien race and everything is very cool.
It is.
What I like is that it particularly seems to, it was designed to accommodate a variety of play styles and sort of sci-fi genres. So if you kind of want to lean a little more cyberpunk, you could do that. There's always going to be magic and stuff, so it's going to have a little bit of feel of Shadowrun, too. Mm-hmm. If you want big Star Wars stuff, you can do it. If you want more to go a little bit more like the kind of heisty Serenity style, I think that's going to be the mainstay of it.
You can also play it sort of Star Trek-esque. I mean, there's lots you can do all different sci-fi. Yeah.
Yep.
We also got the Starfinder Infinities deck, which is a deck of cards that basically plays in-world games.
Oh, right. Kind of like Three Dragon Ante is for D&D.
There's 4 different games in that, and you can also make up your own. So
that's pretty cool. So you get cards with multiple that play multiple games.
Yes, and they have little Starfinder-looking art and that kind of stuff. They're cool. Pies always makes good cards.
If you play it, you will feel futuristic.
Exactly.
You'll be like, I'm like playing Sabacc in Star Wars, except I can understand these rules.
Right. Or you can put on a fancy visor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm playing the augmented reality version of it. Yes.
Pathfinder Battlecry is also, that's their sort of mass combat.
Yep. And I think they've got some new classes and proficiencies and stuff. You can be like War Master and stuff like that.
For playing in a war zone kind of thing.
Yep. Which, in fiction is fun.
It's fun. We also got Star Trek Triple Match, which is a memory... What is that game that they call?
Matching memory.
Thank you, David. That's very helpful.
I don't know. Go fish, whatever.
Concentration, maybe?
Maybe.
That sounds right.
I don't know. Anyway, it's a game where you see little images of Star Trek. It's cartoony Star Trek people. I saw Khan on there.
Yeah. kind of an all ages matching game.
Yeah.
Memory matching game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids excited about it, like the matching memory game.
Matching memory game.
How many times can you say matching memory?
Probably about 3 or 4 more.
We got the Lego Brick Like This. This is the second Lego game after Monkey Palace.
It's called Brick Like This.
Brick Like This.
This sounds really
This
cool,
is a fun
though.
game. It's a party game. Basically,
What's so fun about it?
you get a card that says that is what you have to build.
Yes.
And then you have to describe that to your team, and they have to build it. So they build up based on your description, and then you show them, and it's like, did they get close to what you described?
And are they things like, like build a car or Abraham Lincoln or something like that? Or is it like...
Wow, those are very different.
It's funny you said that. Those are the only 2 options. It's either a car or Abraham Lincoln.
Well, I mean, I actually don't get what is it you are telling the players? Are you like...
You have a card that has something made of Lego.
Okay.
And you describe to them, like, make this in Lego.
So is it going to be more of an abstract thing?
I think so.
Like, it's a sphere and there's some green dots on top and...
I think it's not quite that abstract, but I think it's probably more like it's probably not quite a car. It's definitely not Abraham Lincoln. I haven't actually
because that does sound fun. I think that seems like a cool idea.
It seems like a Pictionary kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think you have to use a little bit of your brain because the Lego bricks you don't get a ton.
Right. So that's why I'm thinking maybe it's a little bit more abstract or something. It's like kind of a yin-yang symbol, but they're blue and purple, and then it's like got wings.
And I know the game has like variants, like you can do it blindfolded. There's also small or reduced ideas for like playing with kids. This seems like a really fun game for families.
It seems like the kind of thing if you like Dixit and that kind of stuff, this would be like that with Legos.
Or if you're obsessed with Legos.
Or if you're obsessed with Legos.
Do you think the Gum Jabbar box test in Dune?
Yeah.
You think Paul, after doing that once, that he was like, let's try it. He's like, do a little different stuff. Let me blindfold myself.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's try doing it upside down.
What if we did it with Legos?
He's like, ow, my hand hurts real bad.
What's inside the box? Legos.
Ow.
Playing this blindfolded is akin to like playing XCOM on whatever
super high difficult. Yeah, the unforgiving level.
Yeah, unforgiving level.
We also got a smaller game called Smart Smack.
Yep.
It looks like it's like 3 or 4 games in that one too. It's like a deck of cards, and you can play some little.
Okay.
So
nice.
In the vein of the most recent, like Flip 7 and Happy Mochi that we got.
A lot of very portable, fun to play card games.
Yeah. We got the new Magic set, Edge of Eternities. We are sold out of everything except play boosters.
Yep. Hope you got them. But you know what? We actually have a solid supply of play boosters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we'll have that for a bit.
We do get occasional restocks. We're still occasionally getting restocks on Final Fantasy.
And even stuff like Bloomborough or Murders at Karloff Manor and stuff.
We still have the Final Fantasy starters, right?
We have the
those.
2-player starters and one of the commander decks.
Yep.
But yeah.
It's not the super sought after one.
Not the super sought after.
They're all super sought after at this point.
So Edge of Eternities is like a space opera kind of thing?
Yeah,
something like that? Sci-fi fantasy?
Multiversal space adventure, I think.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. And then we got the Arkham Horror RPG Terra Antarctica box, which is an adventure for the Arkham Horror RPG.
Yep. Nice.
Which takes place in Antarctica. It has nice art. I believe it's going to be kind of like that Murder in Metal City. A lot of characters.
Want to lose your mind in the Arctic?
Yes.
This is what you play.
Correct. All right.
I by the way, it's when I was just becoming aware of RPGs in the early '80s, because my brother did have like a lot of old school D&D stuff, and he had picked up like I guess several of the mainstays of the era, so like Traveller and other stuff like that. But basically, he was there for ground zero of Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah,
and so I was always had that percolating in the background. I would watch him and his friends play it, and I would read through the books and look at all the cool art and go insane from it. Of course, I was not allowed to play. But anyway. I'm happy to know that, like, this, I think it came around in, like, 1981. Might have been 1980, but I think it was 81. And, like, here it is still going strong. And it has had multiple iterations. I know this is the Arkham, which is kind of a separate license.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at Lovecraft's creation. Still fun to play. Still weird and macabre.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
this distinctly is not Call of Cthulhu, though.
Right,
yeah.
Right. But it is in that world.
Yeah.
Or that is to say, it uses the same inspiration of H.P. Lovecraft's creations.
It's like 100% less racist.
Well, Call of Cthulhu, the game, is also not racist.
Yes.
It's only the man. Only the man. We're not going to travel back in time and talk to him. It's interesting that, like, if you think about, like, the different, the sort of genres that have emerged in, say, the whole of the 20th and 21st century, The only ones I feel like new monsters that kind of have stuck. Zombies, for sure, and Lovecraft shit.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's really stuck? Maybe werewolves as dateable.
Owlbear's the next big thing, Dave.
Okay, so we should get it.
We're ahead of the curve.
We're ahead of the curve.
Yeah. When the Owlbear Renaissance hits, rogues will be ready.
It's going to be a very adorable horror genre.
Yes. I mean, the owlbears are murderous. So.
I was going to say they can be scary. They are
90%
cute and fluffy.
of the owlbears that I see in the store are adorable.
What are the other 10% have killed people?
Yes, and I can look the other way on that.
Do you forget the stack of bodies out back that the owlbear kind of just munches on?
Well, Bramble got to live.
I forgot Dave was an owlbear apologist. All right, let's talk about the week of comics for the week. It is the first week of the month.
Yes.
Which means usually there's some new stuff.
Yep.
There's also, it is a gigantic graphic novel week. There's some really notable graphic novels.
Yep.
But let's start with a quirky one that kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
Cheetah and Cheshire robbed the Justice League, #1. This is a miniseries by Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott.
Yep. They've been teaming up for a while now, and she's an amazing artist.
These are big names for such a weird, C-list plot.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't sure what to expect from this. Rucka, we all like Rucka, but he tends to write kind of dry.
Yes. He does spy stuff and dark crime.
This is like almost a comedic
cheeky.
crime.
It's cheeky.
Yeah, it's cheeky.
Right, but it's also kind of like Cheshire and is like an assassin, and she does, like, for instance, playing around with her venom, weird venom concoctions, detonate a rat.
Yep.
So it's kind of dark, cheeky.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a little Harley Ivy energy going on here.
Yeah, for sure.
And they even straight up mention Poison Ivy as I don't know, relationship goals kind of thing.
Is this a new thing for Cheetah? Like, she has this insatiable
I don't know that much about
thing?
Cheetah. I think that's new, but it's a new thing.
Rucka wrote her as like a central character, and I think
that's right.
When he
Woman
did the Wonder Woman run, was that New 52 or
no? It was before that.
Rebirth?
Yeah, I think it was before that.
Before that,
yeah.
No,
yeah.
I mean, he had a run on there, but I think his Cheetah focus was either New 52 or Rebirth.
He did write one of the Wonder Woman.
Remember, it's the one where he did like half the stories were flashbacks.
He
half the
stories. G. Willow Wilson, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, you're right.
But I think that's kind of one of his characters, and what we are probably seeing is his version of the character.
So it's her, and it's also Cheshire, who's like a deadly assassin who uses poison, but is also the mother of Roy Harper's daughter.
Yeah, a.k.a. Speedy, a.k.a. Arsenal.
Who apparently is now a teenager, which I'm like...
not
what?
Roy, but the daughter.
The daughter, not Roy.
Right.
There's a great bit in here where Cheshire is surrounded by like hive security.
Yep.
And she says, "Look, wait, it's just a job. I'm not here for you. I'm here for your boss. Just drop your weapons and walk away, and you don't have to die." And they all decide to shoot at her, and she kills all of them. And I'm like, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Also, Cheshire has got a really good costume design.
She does. She's got a great costume.
Is it one of those ones where it's like a slight update on probably the original Perez
I
stuff?
think it's pretty much the original.
Yeah.
Perez, she was she was in Teen Titans Enemy, and that's where she would have both fought with and eventually hooked up with Speedy, a.k.a.
Arsenal,
a.k.a. Roy Harper.
So at any rate, this is Cheetah and Cheshire going about their business, being kind of badasses, but also murderous, and they're going to work together to, spoilers, rob the Justice League. Yeah, and there's a big reveal at the end. I don't want to give it away, but the last thing she says is like, "Oh yeah, this is 100% what I want to see." So
yeah.
But yeah, this is like the Justice League watchtower that they're talking about, and so they're well aware that it's kind of above their pay grade, and they have a notion for that. They have an idea.
It has little elements of the episode of the Task Force X episode of Justice League Unlimited, where they're infiltrating.
Which makes sense, since Justice League Unlimited, of course, is the direct inspiration for the current version
of Mark Waid's doing.
Yeah, this was a surprise to me. I really enjoyed it. It's probably my pick of the week.
Yep.
Marvel Rivals Hellfire Gala is another Marvel Rivals book. Takes place during the Hellfire Gala, which is the thing they brought into the Marvel Rivals game.
Right,
I believe
you can get skins that are...
that kind of thing, which makes sense.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
so
Hellfire Gala.
This is probably, as Dave and I discussed off mic, more Marvel Rivals than Hellfire Gala.
Right.
But if you like either one of those things, you want to check this out.
Yes.
It's fun.
Wolverine by Chris Claremont, #1. This is the third in a series of one-shots they've been doing, reprinting.
Oh, it's just a one-shot?
Yeah. Isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's just a one-shot.
This is one of those, the reprinting the digital first things that were hard to find.
Right.
The first one was the Days of Future Past epilogue or prologue.
Yep.
Then there was the Havoc Goblin Queen thing.
And this is, like a lot of the other stuff he's done, a lost story, not truly lost, like it wasn't written then, but it's a throwback to the early, mid-'80s era of X-Men and a story with Sabretooth in it.
Yeah, this is like taking place during when Logan is in Japan with Mariko, during their wedding, kind of?
Yep. Not the first time that we met her, but I think when they did some follow-up stuff in there, and then there was that pretty well-known story with Rogue and Wolverine going to Japan.
But this is
roughly that era.
Basically making Sabretooth scary.
Yeah, you said that he's not just all brute force and feral, he's also kind of sly and has guile.
But it features all the X-Men of that era.
Yeah.
And
him giving him hell.
Giving him hell, them giving him hell, featuring some amazing artwork by Tom Riley.
That was interesting. It was not the usual kind of maybe Barry Windsor Smith, hyper detailed. I always think of him as one of the iconic Sabretooth Wolverine.
This has more of a kind of Javier Rodriguez.
Yeah, the artist we like.
Chris Sandy. Artists that we love. But this would be my pick of the week. It's really, really good.
We all have oddball picks of the week. My oddball pick is a trade paperback that we'll get around to.
Yeah. We've got Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone. This is the second in the Godzilla run, the Kaisei era. Kaisei being the name of the energy that Godzilla spits out at people.
And as the ongoing, that was the first. Kaisei Godzilla was the first ongoing Godzilla in ages, and this is the first of two sister books to it. That's set on that somewhat post-apocalyptic Earth, or at least it has cities surrounded by very post-apocalyptic areas.
Seattle, Washington is now known as the Dead Zone. It's been basically transformed by all the kaiju. And
but there's those kind of Fallout-esque packs of survivors.
It's very influenced by Fallout.
This centers on a half-human, half-kaiju who's kind of a man with no name, wanderer kind of thing. Basically taking on kaiju for money and stuff.
It was interesting to me that this carried the R rating, at least for language. I didn't know that they were going to go there with Godzilla, and I thought it actually ended up working pretty well. I gave it a very quick read.
I like this quite a bit. I actually liked it better than the last one, which we all liked.
Right, the one that kicked it off.
But there's a good sense of world building. I like the character designs. The monsters are fun. I'm curious to see
there's a bit where we see him. Sometimes we're not getting too much inside his head, but there's this bit where he's wandering and some guys drive past and they're like, "Run, buddy, run!" And they're like, "Two kaiju are right on our tail," and he's kind of like, "I can deal with this." He's a little overconfident and leads to an interesting situation. But it seems like another winner from the new Godzilla launch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the third one, the Spaceship Godzilla.
Yeah.
We've got Archie versus Minor Threats. Archie's doing a lot of crossover right now. They did the one with Kevin Smith.
Yep.
And that was really good, and crazily also was brought the R rating.
So this is written as just like the other one with Kevin Smith was written by Kevin Smith. This is written by Patton Oswalt, Jordan Bloom, Timmy Heeg, the people who do
Minor Threats being Patton Oswalt's
sort of superhero thing.
His little small imprint of kind of messed up and twisted superheroes and supervillains.
Yep.
So this is them crossing the superheroes into the Archie world, with Sabrina being a big focus of it.
I can't forget. Did this also carry an R rating?
I don't know.
I couldn't remember if Minor Threats did.
Probably.
But yeah, that's. I at this point, I'm like, what next new weird thing will Archie do? And I know he's been dealing with the Predator and Punisher since the 90s and stuff like that. But the way I never expected the Kevin Smith one to go as hard as it did.
You make it sound like Archie's struggling with it. He's like, this week I got to fight the Predator.
I wonder what's the weirdest thing? Maybe Archie Heavy Metal.
That'd be weird.
He's got he's traveling through sci-fi futurescapes drawn by European artists with topless Betty and Veronica.
Yeah, sure.
I think it'll sell.
Cruel Universe Volume 2, Number 1. This is the EC science fiction book. This one has writing by Ann Nesenti, Greg Pak.
Oh, Ann Nesenti.
as well as art by Charlie Adlard, Kano, David Rubin, and also an original story from Weird Fantasy number 22 by William Gaines, Al Feldstein, and Bernie Krigstein. So very original
OG
stuff.
Guys. Yep. Bernie Krigstein is an underrated and amazing artist of that era.
Yeah. If you like the EC stuff, this is their new one.
Nice.
Hellboy in Love, The Art of Fire. This is a 2-issue miniseries, co-written, I believe, by Nolan and Golden. Yep. Art by Alex Nieto, which is pretty nice, about Hellboy and one of his romances. I don't think it's Liz. Is it Liz?
That's the only one that I'm really aware of. But
I think it's somebody else.
It would make sense. It'd be kind of weird to just be stuck on her forever.
Yeah.
Was that played by Selma Blair in the movie?
It was. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind is a story wherein the Power Rangers from today are fighting robotic Rita, and so she sends herself back to 1993 to team up with her original Rita self. And so the new modern sort of grown-up Power Rangers have to go back in time and face Rita in 1983 Angel Grove.
Okay, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a fun idea.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a little Back to the Future-y. They also have to make sure not interact with themselves. Some of them actually weren't there.
Okay, so fun time travel stuff with the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
No, wait a second. Like the Power Rangers, did you say they go back to 1983?
In 1983.
They weren't even around in 1983.
I don't know what to tell you. Were they? 1993.
93 is more.
But also, are they meaning that the intent is that they have aged in real time since then?
They can't be real time because
they're not shown as being like...
They're a little older. They're definitely not in their 60s.
Right.
That would be funny, though, if they were all like...
It's more...
in their 40s. You'd make their 40s, but I don't think they're in their 40s. I think
it's napping time.
My knees.
No, they do all these flips, and then they take off the costumes, and they just collapse in a heap.
On a puddle of blood. Also, a lot of regular stuff that we get.
Yeah.
Absolute Green Lantern number 5.
Yep.
Absolute Superman number 10. Mm-hmm. Captain America number 2, which we all really liked number 1. I think we all thought number 2 was interesting.
Yeah. There's especially the ending. They're getting to what you kind of, I think, want in a story set in Latveria.
Yeah,
let's just say that, and it's pretty cool.
All New Venom number 9, really like that. It's Doc Ock and his and the Guardsmen facing off with the various symbiotes.
Oh, the Guardsmen?
Yep.
What? I need to read this issue.
They're working for Scar.
Oh, I remember, because they've shown up before, but I just, they have not exactly been front and center.
Yep.
It was a cool fight.
It's a good fight scene, yeah.
It's crazy to me that they are 9 issues in and we're all really liking. Al Ewing is doing shockingly good work on that book.
The symbiotes are back.
Yep. Although
we're here for the first time for some of us.
I feel like the people who are really into the symbiotes, this is not necessarily going to deliver the symbiosis that they seek.
Probably not.
But they may still enjoy it. I don't know.
Saying, we're getting Eddie Brock Carnage not this week, but there's a lot of symbiotes to like.
I know. It's
weird.
Crazy.
It's very weird.
I don't like it.
Jed McKay this week presents Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu number 11. This is sort of the epilogue to the story he just finished.
Is he tearing his face off?
On the cover, he's tearing his face.
He's tearing off his human face, and under it is the Moon Knight mask. Because that's his true face. Or something.
The important thing to know is that 8-Ball gets a Moon Knight style cloak he's trying out.
Nice.
Of course.
One World Under Doom number 6 is really interesting. It is without giving too much away, it's a debate, a big televised debate between Reed and Doom about his actions.
Right. Challenges him in a very different way than normal.
Yeah. There is also an infiltration going on in Latveria. So it's not all just talking.
It was a good issue.
It's a good issue.
I have been kind of on the fence of this.
I want it to be a very dry debate. Pursuant to what you were mentioning before, Victor.
There's a lot of jargon and rules. Yeah. No, it's very good. And these two guys, the two some of the smartest people in the Marvel Universe facing off.
I actually think that's a really interesting idea.
Issue 5 of Superior Avengers, another One World War Doom tie-in. Issue 7 of Red Hulk, another World War Doom tie-in. Both been really good. Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe One Last Time wraps up.
Randy's favorite book.
Stop it. Daredevil Cold Day in Hell wraps up its 3-issue run. This is the sort of
it's
futuristic.
Just a 3-issue?
Yeah. This is sort of futuristic Civil War-esque. It's even got art by Steve McNiven. Mm-hmm. The Unalivable Gwenpool number 4. It's a great subtitle. Gwenpool's been turned into a ghost and can possess people now.
Yep.
And then G.I. Joe, Real American Hero 319. This is Larry Hama's G.I. Joe. This book is bonkers. If you like G.I. Joe and want really weird, zombie and cyborg shit, I cannot recommend enough. I sent a bunch of panels to our staff chat last night.
Yes.
If you're a Dr. Mindbender fan.
Bonkers in a very fun way.
In a fun way.
If you can plug into it, you're going to have a very good time.
What else did I miss? What are single issues I missed?
You got all the ones I'm
let's see. There's a new issue of Uncanny X-Men this week. Gail Simone's run.
Right, she's bringing in Deadpool and Outlaw.
There's the third issue of Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2.
Right. Yep.
And I think that's it as far as single issues go.
Yeah. And then the new issue of Amazing Spider-Man.
Yep.
It is also a gigantic trade week. So we've got
the biggest of the big.
Most notable is probably Absolute Batman Volume 1 in both trade and hardcover.
This collects the first six issues of the series.
Yep. Blood Hunt Red Band hardcover. This is reprinting the Blood Hunt series. First time in hardcover and first time with the Red Band.
Which, I will say, it was a good miniseries overall. I thought the R-rated version was better. So
that's right. You read them.
I read them.
All of them?
Not all of them, but the most of them.
Okay.
So you don't know if the last issue is like all boobs and blood.
I mean, it's true. I don't, and I will now be sad if that is not the case.
Yes.
I want Blade at the very end just to be like, "Fuck these vampires."
But overall, it was a fun crossover.
It was. Well, Jed MacKay is a writer we like, and he did a good job with that crossover. I think that's kind of paved the way for him doing a lot of bigger stuff. Like he's writing X-Men now and Avengers.
And he utilized classic Marvel Universe lore.
Yes, he did
as a villain, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's I have to admit I'm tempted by it. Oversized hardcover, gory vampire stuff, and
good art.
And it was like it was.
I can't remember who the artist.
I don't remember either,
but it was good.
Yeah. It wasn't. Oh my god, who's that? One of the early Miles Morales artists.
It was not.
It was not him.
It was not him. No.
Okay.
It was
not Cheetah.
No, I don't think so. It was Pepe Larraz.
No, okay. Who did House of X, Powers of X.
Right.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good.
We've got two of the new compact edition trades dueling it out this week. You can decide who wins in a fight of DC versus Marvel. Is it Marvel's Civil War in its premiere edition, or is it DC's New Frontier compact edition?
DC wins hands down.
Absolutely. It does. I mean, even if I like the Civil War comic more, which I don't.
If you have $10 and you don't know what to do with that $10, buy this trade. This is
Darwin Cook's love letter to the Silver Age of DC, and it is spectacular. And I think Dave and I were kind of worried, like, how is it going to look in compact? Is it going to shrink down too much? It looks great. It's very readable.
Yeah. Because he was like an animator in the era of Batman animated series, and specifically he did stuff on Batman Beyond as well. I think his stuff reads so well visually. He has an animator's thoughtfulness about like making sure it's all very clear range of actions. And so it looks really good even at the somewhat slightly reduced size. The colors still look as good as ever. I think it's Dave Stewart, one of those really good colorists. Yeah. And we always liked the story. We always thought it was a cool callback to an era.
It's one of the best comics.
Yep, I own this in big hardcover.
Yep,
and I'm still tempted by this trade.
Yep.
On the less big size things, we have DC Finest Justice League of America: The Return.
Yeah, this is my weird pick of the week, at least based on the one issue of it I've read, and having read some issues of it from it as a kid. So this was the Justice League era right before they relaunched in Crisis on Infinite Earths, right before you got to Justice League International, a very popular era. Yep. This was a very unpopular era.
Yeah.
But I think it has a certain fascination. It's what they call the Detroit era. That instead of being like, in the Watchtower or the Justice League headquarters or even the cave. They were straight up living in Detroit. And it's a weird team that was like headlined, that like the icons that were there, at least at times, were still lesser known people. So it was Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, and Zatanna sometimes, and sometimes Elongated Man. But like the team had a bunch of new recruits, which was kind of unique for the era. So, and those new recruits were Vixen, Gypsy, Vibe, Steel, I think were the big ones. Commander Steel. And so you had some kind of young Turks in the team. And I read it up to... I had read sort of the late era version of that. It was drawn by Luke McDonnell in the late 80s, who would go on to do Suicide Squad right after this, and had really good art. And it kind of ended on a dark tone with J.M. DeMatteis writing. Sort of, this is the guy who did, Last Hunt of Craven's Last Hunt?
Yep.
And so he was bringing some of that energy to the tail end of these characters, most of whom didn't survive it.
Yep.
But I had never read the kind of their heyday. And Jerry Conway was writing the early issues, and we were talking off mic, Randy. I know that Jerry Conway has a big place in comics history, but I feel like I haven't read a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I read a little bit of his Spider-Man stuff circa. Did he do like the original clone story?
Jerry Conway wrote a lot of the best Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I feel like I need to go back and check it because I read the first issue of this and I was like, oh, this is a really good Bronze Age comic.
He's a good Bronze Age writer.
Where so in the beginning, Vixen, who was a fairly newly created character at the time, I think, she's talking with Aquaman, who's kind of a little bit off his game, and she's saying, hey, I heard that your kid died recently, which that's a thing, what's his name? Black Manta had killed his kid. And Mara had left him in this, had broken up with him recently, and there's this really good, pretty well-written conversation where Vixen says, hey, I think you two have so much history together, and I know times are tough, but I feel like she might be worth going and trying to reconnect with her. And it's a really good convo, and there's a cool plot to this involving Amazo kind of mapping himself onto this. After having just escaped from Superman's Fortress of Solitude, he goes to the Yukon and runs into this kind of miserable, hateful drunk guy, but he imprints on him, and so that guy gets basically Amazo gets his personality and starts killing everybody in this town. It's kind of dark, but it's a good story, and it made me want to actually read some more of the fabled weird Detroit era.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna read some more of it.
We also have Feral Volume 3, the Cat Says Zombies story. Yep. That has been gaining in popularity. We had a lot of people looking for that.
Yeah, it's kind of a sleeper series.
Yep. House of Slaughter Book 1, the hardcover, the first 12 issues of that.
Yep.
The spinoff from Something is Killing the Children.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to reading that. I've actually not read any of House of Slaughter, I think.
Yeah, it takes one of the minor characters from the first arc of Something is Killing the Children and sort of expands on him joining the school.
Digs a little more into the houses, right?
Yeah,
and how that
it does.
all works.
It's good.
Yeah. Justice League Unlimited Volume 1, we talked about a little bit. That's Mark Waid's new Justice League. The first 6 issues get collected. Mm-hmm. Original, and that's in trade and hardcover. DC is doing a thing where you get trade and hardcover the same week.
I think we talked about this quite a bit when it first came out, but if you don't recall, aside from being inspired by Justice League Unlimited, it does basically what that cartoon did quite well, which is to say there's always going to be a mixture of kind of the big icons in there, at least one or two of them moving around, and then some B and C listers, including you're probably going to see some people that you like that don't usually get a good spotlight, and then sometimes some people you don't remember that might be new to you, and seeing them in the context of moving around in the Watchtower and working with the big guns, I think there's a good energy that comes off of that. So yeah, that's one of the big books of DC, I think, right now.
Marvel's Original Sin crossover, which has been out of print for a long time, gets reprinted this week. That is the one that starts with the murder of the Watcher.
Oh yeah,
and sort of is like a big murder mystery.
That's I blur that with the one that was all the Asgardian stuff and Thor.
The Hammers thing.
That's not that one.
That's not that one. And then Star Wars Visions Treasury Edition, one of their oversized, that's based on the anime of Star Wars. So it's a lot of the anime-infused stories.
Right. That stuff looks really cool.
The art's going to look great in that on Treasury Edition. There's definitely more. That's just the highlights. It's a big trade week. But I think that wraps our comics talk for the week. And we're going to take a break and then come back and talk about a little bit of news and then some stuff we've been watching. All right, so we got one trailer to talk about, a little tiny bit of news, and then some stuff we've been watching. Let's start with the news, actually. Sony Pictures is developing a Spider-Punk animated feature, co-written by Daniel Kaluuya, who plays, and Ajon Singh, who did something called Primetime.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. Kind of cool.
Why did they wait so long to announce this?
I don't know.
Because Spider-Punk was definitely the breakout character.
Yeah. This is my frustration. One of my many frustrations with Sony is that even when they get something good, they don't know how to follow up on it.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse is now 2026.
Yeah.
And it was not ended. When it ended, it does not have an ending. It's hey, come back for part 2 in 4 years.
Yep, right.
Not cool. And I knew that at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so good. I don't care.
I'm going to watch it. It's great.
It was part 2? I think it was part 3.
I guess, but Spider-Verse ended.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't actually need to do a sequel.
Right.
There is a bit where she's like...
But it's kind of like how Star Wars ended.
I guess.
There was... It's quite the handoff.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of mimicking the Star Wars trilogy ideas. So.
Yeah, cliffhanger in their Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't want to wait 5 years for it, but I will, because it's all going to be good.
It had to teach kids what it was like to have to wait between Jedi... or Empire Strikes Back and Jedi. Which actually wasn't that long.
Okay.
But Dave, I was already that kid who waited. I learned. I should get to see it early.
It's not the same because
it should be nostalgic for you now.
It is not.
It's not the same. Kids will just pick up whatever on YouTube and watch that and not care.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yes, we all like Spider-Punk with his wacky, subversive English ways.
Yes. It's time for that. So
yeah,
if we can see,
I want to see how much. I will be curious to see how far they can push that.
Yeah,
and how far they want to.
Well, we'll see if there's still movie theaters in 5 years when they put it out.
That's right.
We can watch it in the labor camps.
He can preach the virtues of the Ten Commandments.
Oh no!
In school.
I was going to say there were movie theaters in that time, but they were just throwing out propaganda shit.
Yeah.
So,
Zootopia 2 has a trailer.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm the only one. I was like, I don't want a Zootopia 2. Zootopia is such a good movie. It makes its point. It accomplishes it. I don't know that there's more story to be told.
The setting was so good, though. The town that they made up was like a really cool.
It is.
Place.
It's really good. I don't want Hops and what's the other guy's name? What's Nick Fox? Whatever his.
Why can
Wild? Nick Wild. I don't want Judy Hopps and Nick Wild. I don't want them back. For one thing, I don't want an entire movie about two cops.
Yeah, that's somewhat baked into there.
I know, but she was a cop and he was a crook, and that's a formula I like.
Yeah.
Buddy cops, I don't know. I don't know if it works for me.
We all grew up on it too.
I know, but I don't know if it works for me anymore. But anyway, I was not sold about the idea of seeing more of it. If they were doing another story, different characters, Zootopia, I'd be more excited. However,
yes,
the trailer's really good.
It's a good trailer.
I will say the opening of them going to sort of a
couples counseling, partners counseling
meeting was pretty darn hilarious.
With a bunch of other, of course, wild and ridiculous animals in there.
Yep.
A spray bottle was used. It's very funny.
It is just probably, I assume, just a scene from the movie.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
But it was like a minute and a half scene probably, and it's really good.
Yeah.
And then you do get a montage afterwards of clips from the thing, something to do with, although they have a wide variety of animals in there, apparently they do not have any snakes. And there's a snake that is coming into town.
And they're going to do something about it.
They're going to do something about it. They're going to do something to protect it. They're going to do something to drive it off. They're going to do something to save it. They're going to do... We don't know.
Possibly they're going to chase it. We know it's good. At some point it's a chasing.
And the snake is voiced by Kyo-Kwan, so...
that's the deal with that.
Anyway, the trailer looks like fun. I really like Zootopia, the first one. I will probably see this.
Yeah, I hope they live up to it, because the first one is really good.
Yeah. All right. Stuff we've been watching. A wide variety of stuff, actually. Dave, do you want to talk about Murderbot on Apple Plus?
Yeah. Y'all have already talked about it.
I've read the book, so I know the story. You can't spoil anything for me.
Have you seen the show at all?
I've seen 2 or maybe 3 episodes, and now that's done, I'll probably binge it.
And knowing that you would probably talk about this, I watched the finale last night because
you weren't quite done.
I hadn't quite finished.
No, he'd seen most of it.
Okay, you didn't binge 10 episodes.
No. But Kaylee dropped off midway, so it was less and less likely to get back to. So, but I made a point to watching it, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I thought it had a good finale.
Yeah.
This is a show where Alexander Skarsgård plays a sort of humanoid robot who sometimes when he has his visor up, he just looks like a kind of C-3PO-esque robot, and then but he drops it down a fair amount, and you're like, oh, it's like a handsome dude inside.
That's actually true of Skarsgård in real life.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he's mostly has his robot face, but sometimes you can see the handsome dude.
I actually wasn't quite clear on why they built the robots around sort of organic elements.
I believe they talk about that in the book a little bit more.
In the books.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he is a security robot, and what we find out in the beginning is that he has hacked the module inside him.
Yep.
He was working on like a mining colony.
Yep.
He hacked the module inside him that sort of makes him obedient to humans and have to obey them. And now he can kind of like he's very misanthropic and kind of really hates people. He sees like the lamest of the lame at like the mining camp he was working at. and he has a sort of foul-mouthed ongoing narration about how effed up people are.
But it's also, he breaks his governor to basically just watch a television show.
Right. He actually is, if he had his way, he would like to just stream schlock TV.
Yep.
Which his favorite of which is this kind of Star Trek romance kind of thing, clearly inspired by a little bit like 60s Star Trek, and also, I guess, Next Gen, called, was it Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon?
The Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon.
Yeah, where you, and in the show, they often will show you clips of it that either he's remembering, inspired by, or just watching.
It's sort of how he's learning human behavior.
Yes.
Right.
Because the people he's working for are like nerdy scientist types, so he really can't learn from them either.
Right.
Like, they don't act like most people do.
Right, so that's the other half of the show, is that he is, there's this sort of hippie type group of scientists that they're sort of a little bit separate from the kind of galactic corporate sector. Yeah. But they're out there doing sort of edge of the known universe or known galaxy exploration and scientific research on this remote planet.
Yeah.
To get their insurance, to get insured for it, they have to have a security robot.
Yeah, they're all pacifist, polyamorous hippies.
Yep, and they even are like, we don't feel comfortable having an enslaved robot or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, it's the only way you can get insurance. And they're like, well, can we get a cheap one?
Yeah.
And so they get this older model security bot, not knowing it's hacked itself, and has started calling itself internally Murderbot, because that's how he feels about people. However, he is maybe a little bit less murdery than he thinks he is.
Yeah.
And
he develops attachments.
Yeah, as these are half-hour episodes. It's kind of like a dark comedy with some suspense and intrigue, some character development and drama, and occasionally, because he does have these laser things like built into his arms, occasionally he's blowing shit up.
He is a Murderbot.
Or taking out like some big scary alien monster.
You know, that I think was the interesting thing in seeing this translated to the show is that in the book, we're seeing everything's from his point of view, which is sort of done this way because he's narrating it. But in the book, like, everything you hear is he, like, rolls out his stats and that kind of thing. So when he talked about his weapons packages and stuff, I was picturing something much bigger than just some laser guns.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I decided I might check out the books. I hear they're all kind of like short, like more novella-ish.
I've only read the audiobooks, and I would recommend it that way. I really liked his audiobooks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does anybody in particular read them?
No. Okay. It's just
a good reader?
I really liked them, yeah.
So Nick, you were watching this as
I was watching it as it was coming out, and then I kind of paused and caught up. I like Alexander Skarsgård. I think he portrays this character in kind of a unique fashion. I saw you posting last night about you finishing it up, and you kind of did it as I thought your kind of notion of what he was kind of trying to inflect with his acting as kind of a...
Right. I think this is sort of a known thing about this series, is that he kind of reflects someone with autism.
Yeah.
Like, in the same way that, like, Spock or Data has, where there's kind of, they feel a little removed, but they're also beloved characters.
Right.
Right? And he is, he even has, like, he doesn't like to make eye contact.
Yep.
It's like a big thing early on. Somebody's like, look at me, and he kind of doesn't want to.
Take your shield down and stuff. He's just like, he wants to hide behind the mask that he is supposed to wear.
Skarsgård is good at doing that. He has this kind of sort of sad, vacant look sometimes, but it's... in the first episode, there's a bit where he, in order to keep an injured person, I think, kind of to keep their spirits up, he says it's going to be okay. He's like, we're going to get you through this, which is not generally how his internal monologue goes.
Right.
Because he's like, I hope they all fall off a rock, basically. Then he does start to slowly connect with these people. By the way, of them, they actually all turned out to be interesting, too. I almost didn't watch this show because I didn't like the first episode. I thought they were too caricatured. And, like, they were too hippy-dippy. And I was like, oh, is this some kind of woke thing
but
or
as
something?
you get along, there's more nuance and more character development throughout.
They are shown to be kind of goofs throughout. Like, they're a little in over their head.
Yeah.
Out here on the edge of the frontier.
Well, they want to believe that everybody can be the best versions of themselves.
Right. And sometimes they're egotistical, or there's the one guy who's always, like, kind of thinks he's a badass when he's not. And
he wants the gun.
But was it David Dastmalchian?
Yeah,
Dastmalchian? How do you say that?
Yeah.
Ends up being one of the most interesting characters, who both is the most suspicious of Murderbot, by the way, they don't call him that. They call him Sec Unit.
Yep.
Because Murderbot is his internal name. Mm-hmm. They don't find out about that for a good bit, though it does eventually come out.
But there's a reason behind that, because we learn that Garathan's character is kind of a newcomer to that kind of...
He has an interesting backstory himself.
Yeah.
And he is like a kind of cyberpunked up kind of person who has like augments.
Yep.
And it's in ways making him actually closest to Murderbot.
Yeah.
So they have that part, their sort of frenemies-ness throughout it is, I think, very much ends up being more the heart of it than I thought. And he also has his own secret, actually at least two big secrets. Yeah. But all the characters, though, I thought develop in somewhat interesting ways. There's an interesting throuple in there. The leader of the group, Mensa, Dr. Mensa, is really good.
Yeah. They cast these characters really well. Again, from reading the books, it's not quite what I wanted.
Yep. I gathered when I was posting about it the other day that some people were like, I like the show, I love the books.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where I'm at. I like the show, I love the books.
I actually I would say I love the show, so I'll be curious to see where I land on the books now that I'm hitting it.
It'll be interesting if you go the other way, and it's like, the best way to meet Murderbot is the first way you meet it. Like, if you only like the books, but you think the show is better, it'll be interesting to see.
Incidentally, it also has casually good special effects and all that stuff, too.
Oh, yeah, Apple TV's got so much money invested in everything. Sure. Nick, you watched Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters.
This is a weird one, because I really had not heard of this before.
This is everywhere.
And oddly enough, it came from my niece asking me about it.
Well, that makes sense, because, when I've seen it, it's because teenagers in my life have watched it.
I know another person who saw it with their niece as well.
The kids are obsessed with this.
And for good reason. I kind of was like, okay, I'll just watch it. I'll casually have it on in the background and I'll pay attention to it. I ended up really enjoying the stupid movie.
It's a lot of fun. It's very nice. Very pretty.
It's
so well, go ahead, but in a minute, tell me the basic premise.
Yeah, well, I will say it's pretty because it's utilizing the engine that did Into the Spider-Verse. It is that same studio and the same animation
that kind of
style. Same energy.
It's not quite as individualized as Spider-Verse was.
Oh, really? I don't know if I agree with that.
No, Spider-Verse deliberately had, each character was in their own little world. They looked different.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
This K-pop has a consistent style.
It has a consistent style, yeah. But it's that same kind of look.
Is it the thing where there's, almost it feels as if it was hand-drawn, even though it was all probably done on a computer?
Yeah.
But for Dave, the basic pitch of this is that it's a trio of singers, but this has existed throughout all of history, that there's kind of people who can bring about the protection of the world through song. They kill demons, but they're like bards in a lot protection ways.
Weird.
But it's kind of an odd concept.
So is the singing involved in the defeating of the demons, or is that a separate thing?
It's basically creating this protection spell that will keep the demons coming to.
But it is also just a musical. There are a lot of musical bits.
Huh.
Well, yeah, and because of that, it's evolved through time.
They're a K-pop group called
Huntrix.
So it's three Korean girls. And they have a huge, K-pop following and all this kind of stuff. Yep. But they're also out hunting demons.
And in a last-ditch effort, there is a demon that comes up with a plan to create a K-pop
boy band
to take away the fans and defeat Huntrix in that way. I don't listen to K-pop music, not because I think it's bad or anything. It's just one of those subgenres.
It's just that you're not a teenager.
Right, I'm not a teenager, and it's a subgenre I don't pay attention to.
Yeah.
Our former staffer would kick me for that, because I know she is a huge fan.
She was never about, everybody's got to like this.
I know, I'm kidding. But I really enjoyed it. It's got a great sense of energy. Really large
movie or a
characters.
miniseries?
It's a movie.
Although they're probably going to make a sequel now.
I would imagine.
Also, if you go on YouTube, you can find all the music videos because they're in the middle of the show. Well, that's how I first saw it. I saw the three big songs out of context of the rest of it.
Yeah,
and they tell a story. They're really good. They're really catchy. You will have them stuck in your head. I had to add these these songs to my playlist because it's the only way to get them out of my head.
I will say the music is. It's
one of them is in my head right now because they start talking about it.
The music is good.
It is. It really is.
I will say I was very impressed with integrating the music into the actual story. The boy band does a song called Soda Pop that just is in my head. But honestly, I think most people would enjoy this.
Where is it streaming?
Netflix. It's like one of those weird things that Netflix bought the rights and got streaming for it. And
clearly, they made a good call.
By the way, it turns out I did not cancel my Netflix. I thought I had, but apparently I've just been paying it for several months and not watching it.
But a lot of character actors show up that I recognize their voices. Like Kim Jong is in there. Daniel Day Kim, Lee Bren Hyun, who played Storm Shadow in the G.I. Joe movies. He's
so
fantastic.
Good showpiece for some Korean voice actors.
It is, and it watch this movie. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And I think you'll be won over by the music and the art style.
Yep. If you want to know if it's worth watching without paying for Netflix, like I say, YouTube has all the videos. Yep. They're very catchy. I watched King of the Hill season 14.
Yep. Did you watch the whole season?
No, but it was only because I started late.
Okay. When did King of the Hill start?
I don't know.
It was like late 90s.
Was it late 90s?
Mid-90s,
I never watched it. It's one of those weird things that I just never got into.
Well, I think Rainey and I were the same in the sense that we watched a decent bit of it, but neither of us watched a ton of it.
I watched what I'd say is maybe a couple seasons worth, and mixed, not like 2 seasons straight through, but I've probably seen all the first season and some of seasons 2 through 4 or 5.
That's what I think I am.
So it went,
and I really like King of the Hill.
I do too.
But also, I think it was at a time when I was sort of starting to fade a little bit from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And I think as a result, I was kind of fading a little bit interest in other animated stuff like that. I wasn't looking for one.
Sure.
But I remember even at the time, I was like, I knew it was from the creator Beavis and Butthead, and I was like, well, I bet this is going to be pretty clever and funny, but, it'll be kind of forgettable.
Well, it's the creator of Beavis and Butthead, but it's also, who's Texas-based, which is important.
Yes.
But also Greg Daniels, who did The Office.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But what I wasn't expecting back in the day, and what I'm hoping you'll say, is that it also had, a lot of heart and, kind of thoughtful storylines, interesting storylines.
And
also hilarious stuff.
And absolutely that's the point. It went 13 seasons, and I have definitely not seen more King of the Hill than I've seen.
Yeah.
But the revival is the premise of it is it jumps forward 20 years in time, however long it's been.
Yep.
So Bobby Hill, precocious,
weird, kid,
not quite preteen, tween, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Is now a 20-something chef.
Yep.
He's 21 years old. He is running his own restaurant that is a mix of Japanese and the German fusion of the Hill Country. It uses charcoal, much to his father's chagrin when he learns about it. And Hank...
So this is like the... oh my gosh, what's the German town? Fredericksburg?
Yeah.
It is like Fredericksburg food.
Arlen is definitely, I guess, more... We've always thought it's like Austin.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the Dallas suburb of... There's some Dallas suburb, but it's like Arlington.
Okay.
It's definitely Arlington.
Yeah.
But it has vibes like Austin. Anyway, Peggy and Hank have been out in Saudi Arabia because he was working for a propane company as their main propane person.
Yep.
And they were living in this 50s version of Americana that was the base, the military base they were on. So he's been living in 50s America, a sort of perfect version of Texas. So they come back.
That's a good premise.
And they're running into their son is older and has a job and a restaurant. And they're dealing with the mixed gender and a lot of the stuff that they always dealt with. Where Hank Hill is a very traditional guy, but he's not an asshole.
Yeah.
So it's funny because they go into they go to a museum that is all about George Bush's presidency, and Hank Hill is a big George Bush fan.
Right.
But at the same time, the people in the audience, including Dale, clearly have gone a little more right-wing crazy.
Yeah.
And Hank is horrified by the whole thing.
Oh, interesting.
So they managed to make... Dale was one of those characters, Dale being a conspiracy theorist and a right-wing nut could easily have gone really badly.
Yeah.
They still are true to Dale, but he was mayor for about 10 minutes. There was a 9-way split, and he won with 12% of the vote. And the first thing he did was he's like, the system that produces me as mayor should not exist. And so he basically undid it all. And Bill had gone sort of, because of COVID and because of Hank and Peggy being gone, had gone insular and was in his bed in his house and had not left in 2 years.
This actually fits very well what I know of Bill.
The neighbor who had rented Hank and Peggy's house is a guy voiced by Keith David. And he has joined the group now. He's in there they're drinking beer with them and everything. It's all very... It feels very King of the Hill modern day. I was worried it'd be maybe regressive or, because Hank does react to things in that common sensey kind of way, which it's difficult to do any kind of centrism and not feel pretty awful right now.
Right.
But they do a good job with it. Like, Hank is basically he goes to a place where they have the bathrooms are like a cowboy and a cowgirl, but they're both kind of gender, and he can't tell which bathroom to use.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know which one of these is the men's room. And a guy comes in, he's like, oh, don't worry, they're both all gender. And he goes in, and Hank goes back to his table and sits down next to Peggy. He says, Peggy, are we all gender? And Peggy says, well, I have been reading, and I know that I present as female. So it's all it's very cute and clueless, but genial.
They are usually kind of trying.
Yeah. So,
And Peggy is generally a little bit more thoughtful, a little more progressive than Hank is.
And Bobby is still sort of a little bit awkward and weird, but in that charming way. He has a one-night stand with a cute art chick who has to explain to him in the morning. She's like, yeah, this was a one-time thing. And he's like, oh, okay. And he just leaves. And Bobby is still the best boy ever.
Yeah.
He's just in his 20s running a restaurant now.
Yeah.
And to look up some of the voice cast, because
So Toby Huss took over for the guy who died, who played Dale.
Yeah.
And he does a pretty good job. You can tell it's not him, but he's doing a pretty good impression.
But Mike Judge does... he does...
Everybody's still doing, Pamela Adlon's still doing Peggy.
Pamela Adlon is Bobby.
Is Bobby, you're right.
And Kathy Najimy.
Is...
Which I love Kathy Najimy.
The voice cast, other than the people who died, are all back.
I guess having replacements sort of works given the amount of time that's supposed to have passed for the characters. Just that, or if it probably will go down a little easier.
Yeah.
Is Boomhauer still around?
Yep.
Okay.
Boomhauer has a son he's adopted.
Yep.
He's married someone. I think he's married someone, or maybe his girlfriend has a son, and his son does not understand him. Literally, does not know what he's saying because he doesn't speak Boomhauer.
Man, that's pretty good.
The second episode, or maybe the third episode, is about Hank and Bobby entering a homebrewing competition.
Okay.
And Hank is trying to brew home brewing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hank is retired, looking for something to do. He decides he's going to brew a beer like the one that they all drink in the alley, like basically Lone Star.
Yeah.
And Bobby's like, no, the beer is more bigger than this. She's like, needs to be like fruitier. And of course, Hank wants no part of that. So they wind up competing in a beer competition, each brewing their own.
That's pretty good.
It's a lot of fun, and it's older versus young and that kind of thing, and neighborhood guys versus college hipsters, and it's really good.
It's pretty good.
I am super looking forward to watching the rest of it. It came back very strong.
Okay.
Nice. I like that.
I might check out a couple of episodes.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Both of you saw Final Destination Bloodlines, which I've not seen yet. I haven't seen any Final Destination.
Did you just see this recently?
I did. I just watched it over the weekend.
I saw this like 10 years ago.
Yes, you did.
But Nick had not seen it.
Well, I have a kind of a love-hate relationship with the Final Destination movies. I think the first two are quite good, even though the second one is not great. It's got that memorable scene of the truck on the highway with the logging, with the logs crashing into people.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I didn't want to see this in theaters, but it hit HBO Max.
It was what I remember is when this was hitting at theaters, we were like, how is it getting such good reviews?
Right, because I thought the trailer was dumb.
I seem to remember I kind of liked the trailer.
I thought the trailer was good.
And I thought people were, I think, mapping the later movies onto it mentally.
Yeah.
Like, assuming it'd be dumb. And I was like, this looks a little bit better.
Right.
And so I will say this. When I saw it, Nick, I was like, I did enjoy that. But I also think the early reviews where it was like at 90% or 92%, I was like, that's a little high.
Well, it's still in the 80s, I think.
It's a little high.
But I will say...
This is a solid 71%, I think.
Okay, all right.
But I will say, in the grand scheme of things of Final Destination movies, that's pretty damn high.
Yeah.
And I actually think...
I had only ever seen the first one, by the way, and I was like, that was a good movie. This was the only other one I've ever seen.
I actually thought the writing on this was way above what it needed to be.
It's pretty good. It's clever. There's some interesting twists.
Yeah, the framing device of basically our lead
is it common in all of the movies that there's a bit of meta? Like they generally speaking, they know that they're cursed with this thing where you've cheated death somehow and you're destined to die, and it could, any little spinning blade or trip could trigger a sequence of events that gets you killed. But usually the people kind of know to try and watch for it, right?
Not usually. I think there's a main
it's just that you can't.
I think there's a main character that usually has kind of an idea of what's going on and tries to stop these things from happening to the people that are ultimately going to die.
Yep.
But this one takes it to a different degree because our main character is having dreams of an event that happened in the 60s. The 60s.
Yeah,
that is supposed to be
it was like in one of those. It looks like the Needle in Seattle.
Yeah,
like one of those big.
It's like this new restaurant that opens up.
Way up high, and is it the person who designed it?
No, it's just a woman who's going on a date with her boyfriend who's going to propose to her.
Right,
and she's going to reveal that she's pregnant, and she gets this premonition of basically a series of events that causes the destruction of this entire restaurant and kills everyone there. And she's able to save everyone.
Yeah.
And as we know, death is a bastard.
Yes. and so what they kind of ultimately in the present time they start to figure out is that, and there's some more twists on this, but they're like, oh, the people there are who survived that have been dying off since,
and the family trees of the people who they were not the offspring that they were having that were not supposed to exist were getting killed as well.
Right.
And it's slowly getting down to in the order of how they died. So this woman's family is kind of like the last.
Right. But they have a way of knowing the order it should occur in.
Yes.
So they're like, oh, hey, you're going to be next. And so we need to watch out for you. By the way, Nick, I feel like the secret weapon in this is the kind of sleazy, was it brother?
Yes.
In there.
He's a tattoo artist.
He's a tattoo artist who's kind of a likably unlikable egotist.
Yes.
And I did not expect to like him as much as I did because he's a piece of shit.
The sequence of him at the tattoo parlor made me cringe the most.
Yes.
Even though ultimately it goes in a way I wasn't expecting.
Yes.
But the nose ring getting caught in a hook that's being twined
on a fan that's pulling him up.
I'm like, that made my nose hurt.
Yeah.
I just and it wouldn't just rip out
right,
because it's caught in the actual bone of the nose.
Yeah, the movie kind of pulls you into these these situations, and there's also usually some dark comedy with it, almost always, because he's trying to get up on top of a table and get higher and higher so that he won't it's not going to hang him by his nose basically.
Yeah.
But there's another scene later on where they're walking along the sidewalk and they know that somebody is oh, you're up next, we got to be careful, and they're like,
she's trying to convince her family that this is actually happening,
right?
And they're kind of fuck you, this is insane, nothing is going, and she's like, well, that person's going to kick that ball into this person that's going to hit that,
right? I think they said something well, how would it even happen? And she's like, well, what if this happened? And it sounded like it was just made up off the top of her head, and then a few seconds later it happens, but exactly
to a different person, but
right.
Ultimately, I was really pleased with the dark humor that this one had.
It is one of those. It's a fun horror movie. It's a popcorn horror movie through and through. I think if you go into it knowing that, it is actually a very good time.
Yeah, I agree. It is definitely worth hitting play.
And they did do a kind of a nice little tribute to the fallen icon of it, Tony Todd, who gets one final scene in this movie and gets to kind of even get an exit.
Yep.
And it very much is kind of it's a neat sequence, which also takes place in a hospital, and there's a bunch of fun and funny stuff that happen in that hospital. So I'm going to slightly reveal something. Two of them, including Tattoo Artist Man, get this notion, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, that they're like, oh, well, we've figured out that there's a way you can escape this if you die and then are resurrected.
Yeah, you break the line by dying and then being brought back.
Right. And they're so they're like, hey, aren't you allergic to peanuts or something like that?
Yes,
let's just get something out of the vending machine. You eat a whole peanut candy bar and we'll just, we'll use the paddles and we'll just zap you right back.
Yep.
And it's these guys...
Boy, did they choose the wrong room to do that.
Oh my gosh.
And Death is also a sadistic asshole.
Yeah.
Because it takes some joy in how they...
There is some gory stuff in this.
It's very gory. Lots of
it's kind
explosions.
Of somewhat CG gory. It's kind of hard to take it too seriously because it's pretty good CG, but it's not so good that you're just oh my god.
Right.
It's not horrifithink. It is kind of
fun
Sam
gore.
Raimi fun gore.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think I would agree with that. I think, and by the way, I think you can watch this without ever having seen any other.
Oh yeah, you don't need to see.
What's it called? Final Destination.
Bloodlines.
Bloodlines. Yeah.
I mean, I would suggest watching the first one. They're all on HBO Max. Yeah. So, but if you
just watch like the first and this one, you'd have a pretty good time. I think.
I really enjoy the first one.
Right on.
All right, that'll wrap it up for us this week. We'll be back next week with more. Until that time, yo, Joe.
Roguecast is a weekly podcast broadcast from Rogues Gallery Comics and Games in Round Rock, Texas. You can find us online on Facebook and at www.roguesgallerytx.com and email us comments or questions at roguesgallerytx@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.